Hi guys, welcome back. It's Dr. Saru. Hope you've been keeping well. It's quite chilly this time of the year. I'm told but we still thrive regardless. Welcome to my channel. I know it's been a while. I always say that all the time because of lack of consistency, but let's try and keep it up this second half of the year, right? So one thing that I asked my followers on IG the other time about what is the thing that you wanted me to talk about, and allergies kept coming up, and especially eczema. But because it's such a like eczema is such a particular topic, and I wouldn't want to just rush over it like that. And since it's also mostly derma, I'd like it when I either have a derma friend talking about it, or if I have also educated myself enough, because there's so many things that people have misconception about eczema. But today we're just going to talk generally about allergies. So allergies can be from a simple thing like an itch here or a swelling there to something like that. So yes, it can be really fatal. So I just wanted to go through with you guys and explain what an allergy is. An allergy is normally a reaction that your body elicits because of something called an allergen. An allergen can be anything from food to something maybe like a plant umeshikilia, maua, pollen, dust. All those are allergens. So it's normally a different kind of protein, or the body recognizes it as a protein that goes into your body or on your body that will elicit that cascade of events. Normally, histamines are released from the mast cells, blah blah blah. So many, like there's a whole process of how it comes until you can get a full-blown allergic reaction. Now you see, that's why you see the drugs we give for allergies are called antihistamines, because of the histamines that are normally released during an allergic reaction. What are the signs or symptoms, you might ask, of an allergic reaction? So as I said earlier when I was starting this video, there's the mild symptoms, moderate symptoms to very severe symptoms, including death as one of the most severe form of an allergic reaction. So for allergies, they can also be in so many different, let's say, categories, because they are the ones that you can get because of ingesting something. That is when you've eaten something. For example, kuna watu wanasema tuko na allergy ya protein. Happens when maybe you've eaten beans, nyama, peanuts, whatever. Then you get an itch either throughout the body, or in most cases you get hives. Ito tu vitu tumefurafura. So now comes one, hives ama to pimples zenye tumefura, na it can be itchy. Sometimes it's not necessarily itchy, but in most cases it's normally itchy. You can have it in a localized area. That is when you've just been touched by something. For example, maybe you react to a certain fabric, maybe you react to something that you might have come in contact with, that is contact allergic dermatitis, that will cause just a localized reaction. So you won't have generalized body reaction because it's just due to contact. And then now, of course, the itchiness, you can get laryngospasm, that is from moderate to severe symptoms, where unasikia ni kama your throat is closing up and you can't even breathe well because of the allergic reaction. You can have generalized body swelling, and particularly most people have their facial puffiness, or their faces swell up when it's also moderate to severe symptom. Another thing you can get from an allergic reaction, now for us melanated people, it's highly unlikely to notice your skin is turning red, but of course for the people who have less melanin, you might realize you're turning red in the area that maybe you had contact, or even sometimes generally in your whole body you might turn really red, and the puffiness, of course. There's sometimes hoarseness of voice, which is accompanied with a laryngospasm, ama kufungana kwa koo, na you can't really breathe well. And of course the thing I told you about, death. So now, as I've already explained, we have like different types of allergies. You can have the contact allergy. It's because you're coming in contact with something. It can be because you've ingested something that you're getting allergies. You can get allergies from drug reactions, which is also an allergy, form of an allergy. Yeah, basically, so that is what you can. So depending on your symptoms, either if it's mild or it's moderate or it's severe, that is how your doctor is going to be able to help you out with the situation. In most common cases, or in my practice, what I normally advise is, it is really hard for a doctor to identify your allergy per se until we do the allergy profile or the testing, which will expose you to a lot of allergens, which when you're home, the easier way of how you can identify allergies, especially if it's a child and you're thinking it could be something that wakikula ndo wanapata, you can organize a food diary where you note everything that the child eats, including the snacks, so that by the time akikula hiyo kitu and then after a few hours you start seeing them itch and getting the rash, then you can clearly know that this is the particular allergen that is causing that particular reaction, right? The other thing, you can be on the lookout. Sometimes it's not even an allergic reaction per se. Some people have the dust mites in their cushions and their sofa sets that have not been washed regularly. So you tend to be bitten by the mites, and then you think you're having an allergic reaction. You keep saying, mimi nikilala kwa room hii flani, I normally get this itchiness. But if I don't sleep, I sleep at the sitting room, something like that. Sometimes it's not really an allergic reaction. You could be just being exposed to something like a bed bug bites or mite bites or whatever it is. It can just be a bite from an insect or a bug that you're confusing as an allergy. So those are some of the things to watch out for before you really label yourself as a person having an allergy to certain things. There are these common items that have been noted to have or to elicit of course allergic reactions, such as proteins. Kuna watu ambao they're highly allergic to proteins, so milk products, dairy products, nuts, beef, yeah. So you have to identify what exactly causes or brings about your reaction. Another thing, just to clarify, an insect bite can cause an allergic reaction, and also an insect bite can just be an insect bite, the kwamba you're just itchy and not necessarily making you having an allergic reaction. Because in some cases, you'll find somebody getting bitten by a bee, and then their whole body like sort of reacts, and they get really, really, really bad reaction post that period they've been bitten they've been stung by that bee or whatever animal. So of course, yeah, even insect bite and bugs can cause cascade of an allergic reaction. And yeah, so after you have found out either you're in the moderate or mild or severe form of allergic reaction, the first thing or the first treatment to allergies is avoiding the allergen. I know sometimes it might be really hard, assuming you're allergic to dust and you live in a place where it's really dry and dusty. It can be hard for you to constantly avoid the dust. But of course, you can take measures such as wearing a mask throughout when you're outside. When you have allergic conjunctivitis, that is when you itch your eye because of the dust or the pollen or whatever, you can be wearing shades when you're outside and there's dust. You can always take measures to try and prevent getting in contact with the allergen so that you don't treat after the fact, right? But if it also is a mild form of the allergen, you can just let it be. Sometimes you don't do it all the time, but kama ni kidogo, you can engage in whatever that, something that, like the pollen now, when it's time for spring and everything is blossoming and there's plenty of pollen, and you would want to smell the flowers, and you wouldn't want to feel like wearing a mask. But if that allergy is kidogo and you'd want to do that, then well and good, because in most cases for mild reactions we don't treat. However, when it's moderate to severe, please, number one, just avoid the allergen. Kabisa, just avoid the allergen. And then now, plus, minus, antihistamines and steroids. Like after the doctor has analyzed your situation and they have figured out what exactly is the cause and how they can treat it, then they'll definitely be able to give you a proper line of management, because every patient and every treatment and management is individual based. So it's not fair if you ask for like one label, like I get allergies, I want cetirizine, I want Piriton, I want, I don't know, prednisolone. No, there's so many drugs that can be used to treat allergies, and everybody is given according to their need and according to their presentation, and so many other factors that we look into before doing the medication. If you're still guys interested in the eczema video, which I started off this video by talking about, please hit me up. I could do a bit of research. I could look for a colleague in Derma, and maybe we can do a sit down and talk about it. So until next time, enjoy your week. It's Dr. Saru. Love and love.